that the Samiri forged from gold is just a body without a soul, without a ruh. So what is that jasad on the throne of Sulaiman alayhi salam? Meaning someone who appears as a human being, but it's only a body. If you want to sit on the throne, you have to be a human being, and the purpose of your sitting on the throne is because you clearly intend to rule over the holy state of Israel. So it has to be a human being. It cannot be a cow, it cannot be a horse, can it? No. Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam interprets what he saw on the throne. A human being on the throne who wants to rule over holy Israel. That's right. So in this case, the jasad would be a body of a human being. This is my logical deduction. If you differ with me, let me hear your views. What is the jasad? Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, we will see in the dua which is coming now, we will see that Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam understood that jasad who is sitting on his throne wants to rule over his state, holy Israel. That's right. So that jasad has to be in a human form, a human being, not a horse, not a calf or a cow, no. So the jasad that he saw would be a human body, but without a ruh, and a human body without a nafs, without itself. This jasad wants to rule over the holy state of Israel. How do we know that? Why? Because as soon as Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam saw what he saw, immediately he made this dua. So you have to be able to connect the dots. When you connect the dots, then you are able to very easily recognize. I'm sorry that I have to spend so much time to explain what should be very simple for you to understand. But I have to do this. I explained to you why I'm laboring this for so long. As soon as he saw what he saw, he immediately made a dua, in which first of all he asked Allah for forgiveness, and then he asked Allah to grant him a kingdom or a state, which can belong to none after him. Hence cannot belong to the jasad. Cannot belong to the jasad. That is why he made the dua. So who is that jasad? Answer, the jasad who he saw sitting on his throne has to be someone who in Akhir zaman would want to inherit the holy state of Israel, who would want to rule over holy Israel. Who can it be? Who can it be? Answer, it is as plain as daylight that jasad sitting on the throne of Sulaiman alayhi salam, which he saw in a vision that Allah granted to him, had to be Dajjal. Had to be Dajjal. Dajjal wants to rule over holy Israel, so that sitting in Jerusalem on the throne of Nabi Dawood and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam over a holy state of Israel that he claims is holy Israel, but it's not. No, it will be a bogus state, because holy Israel cannot be restored. That fellow wants to claim that he is the Messiah. And in order to claim that he is the Messiah or Al-Masih, and get the Jews to accept his claim that he is the Messiah, he has to rule over what would appear to be holy Israel. And because Sulaiman alayhi salam did not want that to happen, no, he cannot succeed in that effort of his, he made a dua to Allah to grant him his state which none can inherit after him, so that state will end. The state which was established by Dawood alayhi salam and over which he was appointed as divinely appointed Khalifa, and over which his son Sulaiman alayhi salam ruled, that state came to an end, never to be revived. Are you listening in Iran? That state came to an end. No more Khalifa appointed by Allah. None. What followed after that is another state of Israel, not the holy state of Sulaiman alayhi salam. If Dajjal is a jasad, can he be a jinn? Now then, you need only 5 ringgits. Ringgits is the money they use in Malaysia. 5 ringgits worth of intelligence. Enough to buy roti canai and teh tarik. If Dajjal is a jasad, as the Quran is directing us in this verse of Surah Al a jasad cannot be a jinn. Why? A jinn has a ruh. Allah breathed it into the human beings. Allah breathed it into the jinn. Allah breathed it into the angels. They have ruh. That's how they have life. And in addition to that, a jinn has a nafs. A jinn has a nafs. And so Allah has given to the jinn, through his nafs, the capacity to choose, a self-directed will. Yes. So a jinn can choose. And if the jinn chooses the path of faith, then the jinn would be Muslim. And if the jinn chooses the path of rejection of faith, then the jinn would be a shaitan. And the plural of shaitan is shayateen. Dajjal cannot be a jinn because he's just a jasad. So then how does he speak? How does he act? How does he move? How does he pursue his mission of impersonation of the true Messiah? Answer, he does it because he's externally programmed. Today there's a term called artificial intelligence, where you can externally program a robot, for example, to behave in a certain way. Artificial intelligence. So Allah created Dajjal and Allah programmed Dajjal. And whatever Dajjal does, all his actions, all his conduct, everything that he speaks, he does so not on his own accord, because he does not have any ruh, he does not have any nafs. No. Everything he does on the basis of programming, divine programming. So, excuse me, Jordan, no, Dajjal is not a jinn. And Dajjal is not the son of Iblis. I hope that I have settled the issue. Why did I have to spend so much time on this subject? The reason for this is, and I am not boasting, no, anyone who boasts in the world of knowledge, guess what happens? Allah takes away your knowledge from you, that's right. Allah takes away your knowledge from you if you boast. So no, I'm not boasting. If you turn to all the books of tafsir, all the books of tafsir that we are able to put our hands on, you will find that no one in the history of the revelation, since the revelation of the Quran, no one has ever explained or interpreted the Jasad in Surah Al to be Dajjal. It is Allah's kindness to me. I don't deserve this honor. I am the first to declare I don't deserve it. But Allah, in His kindness and in His wisdom, has allowed me to give this interpretation for the first time. And since it is being given for the first time, and it's an interpretation, we have to be humble and say, Allah knows best. Only Allah does not make mistakes. Although I was in New York and I used to give the khutbah at the United Nations in Manhattan once a month, for a whole 10 years. And they'll always warn me, Sheikh Imran, you can't come in the United Nations and blast the United Nations like this. They will take away the hall from us. Every month they will warn me and warn me and warn me and warn me. But I continued seeing. And the head of the Arabic Department, Translation Bureau at the United Nations was a Palestinian. I won't mention his name. I don't know if he's still alive now. Very fine man. So he made me laugh. He said, there are only two people who don't make mistakes, Allah and the Queen of England. The Queen of England says she's infallible. She doesn't make mistakes. Anyhow, that's a little joke or that. So we say Allah knows best. We have given this interpretation of the Jasad, and we are convinced that it is correct, otherwise we will not teach it to you, we will not explain it to you, unless we are convinced that it is correct. But because this is the first time since the Quran was revealed, that the Quran is being used in this way, that this explanation is being offered, and this is why it was necessary for me to devote so much time to try to explain the subject slowly and easily, that no, Dajjal is not a jinn, and Dajjal is not the son of Iblis. That's not true. Since Dajjal is only a Jasad, will Allah judge a Jasad on Judgment Day? Huh? No. The only way you will stand before Allah for judgment on Judgment Day, to be judged, is if you have a nafs, a self, and with that self you have freedom to choose, a self-directed will. Then, when you choose to act in this way or in that way, you'll have responsibility for your action. Then it's called, in ethical language, it's called conduct. Behavior which is ethically evaluated is called conduct. This is moral philosophy. Alhamdulillah, I was able to do my master's degree in philosophy at the University of Karachi. So, Dajjal does not have conduct. No. Dajjal cannot choose between truth and falsehood and decide to choose falsehood instead of truth. No. Dajjal does not have a self-directed will. A Jasad does not have that. No. Dajjal is just a body without a soul and without a self. And I've been saying for how many, 15 years now, that Dajjal will not be tried by Allah on Judgment Day, for judgment, no. And sent to Jannah or Jahannam, no, 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 no. When Nabi Isa alayhi salam kills Dajjal, as we are told in the hadith he would be killed, then that will be the end of Dajjal. That's the end of Dajjal. Nothing more you'll hear about him. He will pass into non-existence. I hope that this explanation which I've given here tonight from my sitting room here in Trinidad would be understood. There will be no ambiguity, nothing to cause you to be confused. After all, I have spoken clearly and plainly. Why should there be confusion?